Good evening, John again, and I'm playing Immaculate Grid. I think this is number 148, if my thumbnails are accurate. Just a couple things before we get into today's game. A couple things from yesterday's game. Number one, I'm terrible at pronunciation, especially if I've never actually heard the person's name said aloud. Um, one such instance is Danny Tartable. Numerous people, not numerous, like three of you in the comments corrected me. That's Tartable, not Tartable, as I was saying. Never actually. I think maybe he was in a Seinfeld episode, so maybe I did hear him. But um, in any event, I've been pronouncing that wrong at least in a couple videos. And then what got me, because I didn't end up using Tartable in any of my choices, but what ended up getting me was I kept trying to come up with a Sam Majili because I'd seen his name in print. Thing is, that's not the guy. His name was Sal, was his first name, and it was Magley. The I had the I and the L reversed for some reason. So it was exactly the right combination of I wasn't guessing the right first name and I wasn't spelling the last name right. I wasn't going to get the guy, but he did. He was a 20 game winner. So he would have worked. I think he would have gone way better than my pick, which I think was Carl Hubble yesterday. In any event, you live and you learn. You learn how to pronounce. There's a How I Met Your Mother episode where Ted pronounces chameleon chameleon because he's never actually heard it said aloud before. And I was like, huh, that's me with a bunch of baseball players who I've just was just a little too young to have seen. Well, a little too young in the case of Tartable. I think he retired the year I started watching baseball. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's play some Immaculate Grid here. I think this was a 17. I pounded refresh a little later in the day and it bumped down to a 16. So, that's a nice little bonus point. Pound refresh. All right, so this is a little bit different of an alignment because the accomplishments are both on one end here. So we're going to be matching the Diamondbacks up with the Tigers, Max Scherzer, Guardians, and A's. Um, and then we'll match each of those last three teams up with a Gold Glove and a Cy Young. That'll be interesting. So let's start with Cy Youngs. I should be able to get all the Cy Youngs, I think. Um, Denny McLain won two Cy Young awards, 1968, 69. So he's a good go-to here. Won 31 games, pretty in 68. That's pretty famous season. After that, you get I think Willie Hernandez in 1984 won both the MVP and the Cy Young Award in the same year, as did Justin Verlander in 2011. And then 2013, Max Scherzer won the Cy Young Award. I think that might be it. I'm trying to think. Maybe Jim Bunning played for the Tigers. I don't know if he won a Cy Young Award. Um, so assuming it's just those four, then I think we've got a little bit of a grid buster on our hands. Um, there might have been. I'm not going to promise there wasn't someone else. Maybe Bunning, maybe someone else. In the 50s and 60s. I should really brush up on my early Cy Young Award winners. Um, but of those, I think McLean is a little bit more famous than Willie Hernandez. Um, Shout out, didn't win a Cy Young Award, but shout out to John Hiller. I believe he had one of the top two or three relief seasons of all time. I think that was in 1973. But he's not going to work here. He did win a Cy Young Award. Is there anyone else I'm not thinking of? Jack Morris never won a Cy Young Award. Um, Justin Thompson had a really good year in 1997, but didn't win a Cy Young Award. Yeah, I think I'll probably do it. See how Willie does. 6%. All right. I think that was as good as I was going to do. Probably. All right. So for Cleveland, um, Feller was too he was right in his like last days, I think, when the not of life, but of um pitching when the Cy Young came around. I actually have a signed autograph right there of both a baseball and signed by Bob Feller and a picture of his ship from World War II. He enlisted the day after Pearl Harbor. So pretty cool. It's really cool to meet him. That was back in '09. I was at spring training with my dad and we went to Goodyear Field in the Phoenix area. I think it's actually in Goodyear. I think the town is called Goodyear. Anyway, uh, so not Bob Feller was the listener. Maybe Bob Lemon. I'm not sure on that one. Gaylord Perry definitely won. Um, that was 1972. Oh, and then who after that? Oh, Kluber. Duh. All right. Kluber twice, Sabathia in 2007. Um, and then Bieber, Shane Bieber in 2020 won the Cy Young Award, right? Oh, and Cliff Lee in 2008. Okay, so there's a bunch of modern choices. I thought I was going to be stuck because I don't want to throw out a guess on Bob Lemon. I'm not sure on him. I know Feller didn't, but in the meantime, I can definitely go with Gaylord Perry, and I think I'll do okay. 1972, lock it in. 6% again. All right. Um, A's. Um, let's see. We have here's a fun non-answer is Bobby Chance. I think it sounds that. Who I've used before. He won the MVP in 1952, so presumably he would have won the Cy Young Award that year with the Philadelphia A's, but it was 5 years or so, 4 years before the first Cy Young Award. I think your options are going to be Vita Blue in 1971, Catfish Hunter in 74, um, Bob Welch in 1990, Dennis Eckersley in 92, and Barry Zito in 03. '02. It's '02. It's '02. '03 was Halliday. I had those backwards. Um, I think that's it, right? There hasn't been anyone the last like 10 years or 12 years or so. So I think for the A's, so Vita Blue was the earliest of the ones I listed. Um, Bob Welch was probably the least famous. Well, maybe not. I think I'll go Vita Blue. The thing about Bob Welch is that he was the second best pitcher on his own team that season, and that's not even counting Eckersley. But Dave Stewart was way better. But then, like, I don't know, maybe Vita Blue was overshadowed a little bit by Raleigh Fingers because the handlebar mustache. Fingers did win a Cy Young Award, but not for Oakland. He won it with Milwaukee. It's probably on the shirt somewhere. Going Vita Blue. I'm not sure if Vita is more rare than Bob Welch, but I'm pretty confident I listed them all at least. Ooh, he takes 22%. All right, maybe I should go on with Bob Welch. Fascinating. All right, grid is sufficiently busted. We can at least try to salvage something here, I guess. I know Greg Swindell works here. There's, I'm sure there's other options, but I know Swindell played for both teams. Let's lock him in. 2%. Wow. Matt Williams also would have worked. Jay Bell would have worked. Um, possibly better. Let's see. For Arizona and Detroit, who are you? Kareem Garcia. 0.4%. There's that classic purple look for the Diamondbacks. I was quoting Pedro Martinez there. Basically, Pedro hit Kareem Garcia, and Garcia took exception to it. And Pedro's like, "Who the heck are you? I'm Pedro Martinez." And he was like, "Who are you, Kareem Garcia?" It turns out Garcia, been in the league a little bit, but Let's see. And then Dan Heron would work here. Eric Burns would work for A's and Diamondbacks. Trying to think, is Mike Morgan hits the Diamondbacks? I'm trying to think if the A's were one of the teams he played for. He played for a bunch of teams. Um, Same with Miguel Batista, also played for a bunch of teams. That's something that one of you put that in the comments, and that was good. He definitely works for the Diamondbacks. I'm not as sure about the A's. Um, and then I'm just going through some other possible answers. I guess I've already shot it with these Cy Young winners over here. But then again, so I think so is that most people. We'll see if I was wrong. We'll see if there was like a Tiger Cy Young Award winner I didn't know about. But in any event, I'm not sure how rare Eric Burns is going to be. Dan Heron had some solid seasons with both teams. Eric Burns had like one really good year with both teams, like back to back, like 06, 07 with the A's and Diamondbacks. Um, let's see. No Johnson, no Schilling, no Anderson. Uh, yeah, just swinging around the horn here. Matt Williams played in the Bay Area, but not Oakland. I don't think Tony Womack ever made his way to Oakland. Um, Edwin Jackson, I don't think even played for Oakland. He hits a lot of teams. I don't think Octavio Dotel, who also famously hits a lot of teams, I don't think he ever played for uh for Arizona. He did play for Oakland. Oh, you know who will work? I'll go with because I forgot him a few weeks ago. I was trying to come up with him and I couldn't do it. I think I'm gonna play Jose Guillen because I know he played a little bit with both teams. Yes, takes 0.2%. That feels good after a pretty rough start. All right. So now we need to come up with some Gold Glove winners. I'm not as good at these, um, but Gold Glove goes back a little ways. Um, so might be able to piece some together. Um, like it would very much surprise me if Sal Bando, for example. I'm not saying I'm going to go with him, but it would very much surprise me if Sal Bando hadn't won a Gold Glove because he had a pretty good reputation as a Gold Glover. But as I say that out loud, he intersected with Brooks Robinson on one end, and then even later in his career, he was still intersecting with like Buddy Bell, who might work here actually. Yeah, Buddy Bell, I think would be a decent Gold Glove pick. Actually, better than Bando, but no reason to get fixated on third baseman. For no reason. Um, do I go with Buddy Bell? I mean, Omar Vizquel is an obvious one. Kenny Lofton definitely won Gold Glove awards. Um, Roberto Alomar, I'm sure, won Gold Glove awards with Cleveland. Um, Corey Snyder had a reputation for having a monster throwing arm, but I don't think so. I don't think he's gonna work there. Let's try Buddy Bell out. That's a little bit of a risk. A little bit of a risk here. Nope. Nope. Came up. Nope. All right. Well, that's a bummer. I could go with some safe picks here, I guess. Let's see. For the A's, pretty sure Eric Chavez will work. It's 19%. I listed a bunch. So let's see if we can come up with a Gold Glover for the Detroit Tigers, and we'll call it there. I think Al Kaline will work. Um, yeah, not sure. Maybe pitcher Gold Gloves are an interesting one. Whitaker would surprise me if he didn't, but it was a crowded position at that time. I mean, Frank White definitely won some Gold Glove awards. I think Willie Randolph probably did. So Lou Whitaker might be tough. Not sure about Trammell either. Ripken was I think, winning most of the Gold Gloves during that era for the American League. I don't know, Granderson, maybe. Let's try Al Kaline. Oh wait, catchers. Pudge Rodriguez will also work. So does that. Um, Probably other catchers like Bill Freehan, maybe. Yeah, Bill Freehan seems like a better guess, a more fun guess at least. All right, so I got Freehan. Alan Trammell was actually the leading getter, and I was too shy to play him. Eric Burns was the most popular, so I'm glad I didn't play him. Let's see here. Did I hit all of the Cy Young awards for Detroit? I did. Some Clay Hernandez, Verlander, and Scherzer. I don't think I hit them all here. I hit Bieber, Lee, Sabathia, Kluber, and Perry, which means I missed someone. Let's see if it was. Oh no, I hit everyone. Oh, I just didn't say them out loud just now. Sabathia was the other one that I didn't say aloud, I think. And for the A's, I had said Vita Blue, Catfish Hunter, Bob Welch, Stan Eckersley, and Barry Zito. So I think I got them all. Notice I closed out of a window and then opened a window, even though it's the same link because it's just all the Cy Young winners. Yep, hit them all. So I think the only thing is I don't think Vita Blue was the best choice there. Bob Welch probably was. Um, and then yeah, there was a number of Gold Glove winners, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but so sometime I should, so I'll be better at this game. But that's all right. So I still had a pretty high score, even if I had gotten that one right. I still would have been like up above 60. Vita Blue was killer there. Um, these were all right picks though. That was Freehand was a good pick. I'm pretty happy with that. Chavez was, I I'm not sure. I'll look at it. Maybe I could have come up with someone better than Chavez, but I was just thinking about it, and I'm just like, I don't know. Miguel Tejada wasn't winning Gold Gloves. Um, yeah, I think Mark Ellis was winning Gold Gloves. You go to the 70s, and yeah, maybe I'll check on Bando. Maybe he did. My first instinct would have been right there, but then I got to check here. I see he was beating out Buddy Bell because I think Buddy Bell was a very good defensive third baseman. In any event, this episode, I don't actually know where I put my book, but this episode is brought to you by my book, Baseball's Most Fun Frivolities, which link will be in the description. Thanks so much for playing. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for correcting my horrific pronunciation. And I'll be back at it tomorrow, hopefully for a little redemption. Thanks so much. Peace.